You sound like very, very, very cool. That's really, really good. There we go. Oh, I never got it. What is it? Yeah, that's what that matters. Yeah, well, now I know it's out there. I'll look for it. I'll just read it. I'll send my mom to it.
Okay. She's busy. She's always busy. She's one of those that she's busy when nothing's happening.
She's just busy.
So what's it that happened?
And that was even before real estate? Even before real estate?
Oh, she's always, she's in stuff and in like this, and I'm like,
Well,
I don't know how you do that.
You guys share an office and one of your own, and she's.
She's at home.
Okay.
She'll come in out once a month, most of it she's at home.
Gotcha.
We text, she's like, and she's also one of those, she will text.
I do when I operate.
She will email, she will instant message, and then every once in a while she'll call me. And I'm like,
Yes. Yes.
give me one.
All like this, all for the one thing?
Yeah.
So multiple ways to reach you for
Okay,
the one
she's just
question.
stuck, and I'm like, I get this, are you there?
All right.
Are you there?
Let's do this.
Gotta be awesome,
Every
right?
once in a while, I go, no.
All right, let's do this, kids.
Just as good. She's like, yeah, funny.
Okay, I'm gonna be in the room. This prime location to not be.
You're on TV, that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
That's what you're here for.
Sorry.
You're here to
I'm
make the
just
video
wondering.
look good. The rest of us have problems.
You gotta help me out.
Put your pretty face on there. I'll sit with you. I suppose you don't need to.
Yeah, I won't do it. Center stage. I saw that.
Packed house today.
Packed house.
It's orange day, what's happening to you?
It's orange,
Very
right?
good.
That's why.
I don't know, we're all got peach going
All
here.
are in orange.
Yeah, what happened
And
to
look
you?
at the sign.
Yeah. And
Nice
you're,
job.
you're sitting here in
Black and black.
Yeah,
What the hell?
I don't know.
Maybe I should have pulled up the orange today.
Yeah, something, you could get somebody, Mr. Chance,
I like to be an anomaly. I like to stand out there.
one of those. huh?
Yeah. I just roll a little different.
Okay.
So how can you go around?
How's really going for you?
Good for you.
Been busy.
Get my paper out.
How much you
Need
busy?
people to know I just opened a new
Yeah,
reel.
that was a really good April.
Right here.
Thank you, closing.
And then I don't remember anything. I just do the highlights.
Cool. You here?
Memory of the goldfish.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming
Hey!
Hey!
to Matt Morrow's presentation.
Yeah, right.
So this, I like, you know what? Like most of us, we're like adrenaline junkies, aren't we? Adrenaline junkies.
Easy for you
And
to say.
when my brother asked me for help, first inclination is no, and then I started thinking about it. Yes, I want to help him. I love him. I want to help him. So then I got excited about it. And I was already watching, we've been watching videos, right? And watching some videos. I'm like, content? We got content coming out our ears, don't we, Chris?
Yep.
We got tons of content. So I thought, I just watched this the other day, and I can forward this to everybody from Buffini TV. It's called Effective Tech. It's from Brian Buffini, Buffini TV. I'll forward you the link. And what it is it's taking a look at being efficient. Who today, right now is busy? Selling, showing homes, managing a household, going to baseball games, all the fun stuff, right? I'll tell you what, some days, you guys, I think I'm the only one going through it. And then I talk, does anybody ever get that way?
I do.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, because I feel like I'm the only one going through it. And when you sit down and you think about things, we know we're not, you know? At least we should know, but we just need to be reminded. So, what this
Everyone except the women has orange on.
Don't you read?
We have black.
We're colorful people.
They're in the spring colors and we're
Yeah,
still
we
in
do that.
This is what my wife bought me. She pulled it out of the box in here for
Looks
the today. Thanks. So what we took a look at is old school versus new school. Okay, to leverage your time, old school versus new school, to get more out of what you're currently doing, to get the maximized return. And so old school versus new school, and what use is this stuff anyway, right? So when you look at your email, who's overboard with email? Like, who can look at their email and go, man, email, I could spend 2 hours, 3 hours on email and still not be caught up, right? Someone could have emailed me that they had cash to buy a $500,000 home, and I might miss it because you have too many emails, right? Some of us, I got 6 emails. I got my email cleaned up. And how did I do that? I took the time, and I watched this training video to physically go through and unsubscribe to all the crap. You know, start with unsubscribing to all the crap. It'll take you time to do it, but you'll be down to 6, 8, 10 important emails that you know that you can't miss. So unsubscribe to all the crap. I had to physically, you guys, call lenders and say, you know that report that you guys blast out from Wells Fargo? I got 80 of you guys sending it to me. I'm going to block your email. Okay, I'm going to block it. I don't want to, because if we ever do a deal, you know, then I'm blocking your email, I might not get your emails. So you got one, you know, can you take me off there? Because somehow that you can't unsubscribe that just keeps coming. It's so annoying from those guys.
It just keeps going.
It does. I had to call one of them and I said, Douglas, I'm not trying to be a jerk. He goes, hey, you should be getting my mail thing too. You know, it doesn't even come from me. Well, that was the other thing. He's like, well, that stuff doesn't even come from me. He wanted to be like, he wants my business, but he doesn't want to say he's trying to get it. So then I thought, well, if I'm on automation, then definitely take me off. But if you want to personally call and ask my business, that's cool. I'd actually appreciate it better if you did. Because we're all so much automated junkies, you know? Systems and automations. So we got rid of that stuff. It was good. And then, with your Rematch Real Estate Concepts email, you guys know this, you can set folders within folders, right? Who's doing that? Okay. Ben?
Hi.
All right. Welcome to the crew. Ryan Rivera.
Right.
Heard a lot of good things about you. So you'll notice.
What was that last one you just said?
With your Rematch Real Estate Concepts custom email address, you have the ability to set your emails into separate folders. Okay? You can have primary box or folder. You can have a social folder, so like Facebook updates and things like that, come to that, notifications from Facebook, LinkedIn, come to that. Then you have updates, and then you have marketing, so like all those spam things that you get that you don't want, but maybe you like Cabela's and you like to go hunting, or you're looking for a new car and you're on a certain website. You can make all those emails go to that advertising. And then there's another one called Forum.
You can add and customize those also.
And you can customize those also. You can't change the name of them, I come to find out, huh, Rebecca? We can't change the name of them, but you just have to remember what you put your folder in. Okay? I stay in my primary one most of the day, or my update one, because that's where like my showing time comes to my update one, and I want to see the showing time request for showings, and I want to see the feedback, I want to see the confirmations, and I want to see the feedback. Okay?
How do you turn that on?
I can show you how to do it, yeah. And you can also even go deeper than that and set up custom filters so that you have folders over on the left side. And now maybe you have one newsletter that you get all the time. So you say every time that email comes from that newsletter, go ahead and put it in this folder. So now it's saving you the time from moving it into that folder that you're gonna go look at some point or read. You wanna still get it, but you just want it out of your inbox.
Who would like a class?
Thank you.
Who would like a class on this?
Yes.
Where we say, you know what? Bring your laptop, come with it. Let's sit here for 10 minutes and let's bang this out and get it done. Because it sounds great now, but now you leave here and you're gonna go out and get busy and you're not gonna get it done. So let's make sure that we have a laser focused class on something like this.
There's Google every Tuesday at 1.
There's Google, did you guys hear that?
I've tried it.
What do you think about it?
Highly irritating.
Highly irritating?
It's always loading. It's just.
Seems like it recognizes like the common theme of addresses in the groups all your.
What are you talking about? Folio, actually, so it's highly irritating. I just was looking into that last week.
I've been using it and it'll ask you like, do you want to put this in your folio box? Yes, you know.
And so what it does is it puts it all in a folder for you, and then it will, once you have dates and stuff incorporated, it will put it on your calendar.
Yeah, it'll put like closing inspections, due date for loan commitment. Remind you of all the things that sometimes you get. So
They sent out an apology email, so maybe I haven't went back since they sent out the email that they upgraded their systems, and but it was grouping several of my.
looks like there's this thing called Folio. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen it? Folio that's kind of helping.
For Gmail.
It's made for real estate agents.
I was afraid to say yes.
I wanted to get into it a little bit, and then I was gonna hope to share it out if it was something that was good. And I was talking to Rob about it just the other day, so he was gonna
Yeah,
look
so
at
you
it
can
too.
set up all your dates, like
Let's take a look at that, yeah.
inspection dates. You can set it all up and then anytime you get an email when it has that address in it, it automatically recognizes that and throws it into the file of that.
And I typically do that and have been, I don't know who else does that, when you're doing a deal, you put the subject address in the subject line. So if you ever have to go back through it, that's another system you could put in there, save you time, be more efficient, just put the address in. That's a great idea.
Yeah, well, take a look at that Folio. It's kind of, I mean, I haven't really dove into it, but so far when I see it, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this topic is I have a few other, those
Share some
websites
ideas,
talking about, is to share some ideas about this folio. So we can all learn about that.
I think it's made through Google, right? I mean, Google's making this, no.
It's a Gmail, it's folio for Gmail.
It's a Gmail product.
It's like an extension, yeah.
Yeah. I was afraid to say yes.
It will take a minute and it'll go through all your stuff and it shows you that it's working and
Yeah.
putting stuff in. I did that, I just haven't done anything more with it yet.
And if you already have stuff in folders, does it mess with those?
It didn't mess with those, but I noticed that, yeah, if I already had stuff organized, I'm gonna have to go back and maybe put those in or see if they went into there. So.
See, and that's the thing about email is that we're getting so much stuff as, the average person gets 150 emails per day to their email box. 150 emails per day. So it's coming down to people going crazy, working late hours, trying to get caught up and getting burned out, or trying to get more efficient with their time and use systems like Folio, use the inbox that Concepts has created for you to get a structured mailbox system, and then just go through and delete or unsubscribe to the stuff that doesn't pertain to you. I mean, if there's a Remax bag from an approved supplier that you might want to buy, I think we could seek that person out when needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got this idea from my brother. He had 6,000 emails. I noticed when we had our Concept Scares meeting, and I thought, 6,000. I wanted to faint. Like, I couldn't do that. Mine had to be 0, because I need to know that first I have to just know my job's done for the day. I can go home and relax. A couple other things when it comes to being efficient, old school versus new school, like for as far as advertising is concerned, and leveraging your time, okay? Old school would have been like bus signs, newspaper ads, door hangers. Those are actually coming back, aren't they? Door hangers?
Well, it just seems like when everybody starts to run away from, then it opens up a chance for someone to do it, you know, and do it well, because there's a lot of noise taken out. And a lot of people stop doing direct mail because
Like you said, don't go.
of email and things like that, and the internet.
Yeah.
So now a little bit of that stuff is coming back.
And I think that's a good point, because everyone's getting 150 emails a day. Let's go back to the door knockers and do it in a condensed area, a 50315 area code or whatever, put the door knockers on.
Bring a taser if you're in that zip code.
The minimum.
May I suggest the 50266?
65.
Exactly.
I'm a stop sign, right?
You're a 50321 now, I'm
No, no,
50323 now, yeah?
Soon, no, 50211. Yeah.
And then old school, remember the QR codes and things like that? But those are making a comeback because we were talking about that with the sign writers. And you click and you get a link and yada yada. The 1-800 number sign writers, the call capture numbers, they're coming back. New school would be, and we talked about this in last class, posting Facebook ads on your business page that says, we have buyers or we have sellers, and leveraging that sphere of influence, or go to a neighborhood that you have a buyer for, Green Meadows West, south of Grand, and leverage that and post a cool sign that says, we have a buyer who's looking for a $500,000 home, and it has to have this many bedrooms, this many bathrooms, and here's the area. Okay? Put that on social media. Ask your friends to share it. If you live in this neighborhood, 50321, can you share this and go deep? So that's using Facebook ads to leverage your time and advertising, and it doesn't cost you anything. You can boost it.
I see that Shane uses LinkedIn, and he puts the new listings on there. Does anyone else utilize LinkedIn
I use
like they do
LinkedIn.
Facebook?
I do. It's more of a group of professionals than
Right.
than it is, more of a sphere, I suppose. But
Do you see results from it?
Yeah, every now and then. Every now and then you get an inquiry of someone. I've gotten a lot of good responses by putting different loan terms on there. Like, hey, did you know 100% loans, no PMI?
Did you just put one up for that?
Yeah, and it got a lot of likes on that.
Yeah, 5, I think.
So I think you try to maybe do something like, hey, did you know, because like Wells Fargo has a union loan if you're part of the union. You put that kind of stuff out there with more professionals, and that might, I don't know, this is not it. I do your listings too.
Layers.
Your buyers. I mean,
Layers.
Different stuff is good, right?
Comes in layers. Yeah, I like that idea.
That was neat.
Yeah, I think there's good loan programs out there right now that people have different companies are doing different things, and they're kind of outside the box a little bit. They're trying to compete.
I think it works now because we've had about 3 solid years of, it's hard to get a loan, it's hard to get a loan, it's hard to get a loan.
Right.
And if we can tell people it's not hard to get a loan.
Like, do you know that they have a loan available for like a parent to buy their kid, or the kid to buy their parent, or grandparent, 5% down, rather than a non-owner 5, just 20 if you want to do it. I mean, there's,
And then just after that,
Oh, they are.
because I just asked her.
Lincoln Savings Bank.
Bankers Trust has one as well.
Wow.
So, I think we gotta get that out
Actually,
there.
so does-
I think we gotta get that out there on your social media, let people know, there are programs for unions, there are programs, and unions, I mean, anybody that works for the county is part of the union. So.
You can use the 100% financing.
That's half your family.
Yeah. There's a little truth to that. But yeah, that's true. But so, but that, the hospitals, the county hospital at Broadlawn,
Yeah,
White
yeah.
Oaks there,
Yeah.
they're all part of the union there too, so there's some good loans.
Like Drake University, if you're an employee of Drake University that's preferred lending because you work for Drake, come to find out. You gotta buy a single family residence, it can't be multifamily, come to find out. But who wouldn't, I think you set yourself apart, you look like a professional. What's more, when you're giving your buyer presentation and you're explaining these options to the buyer and you're doing a good job, right? It's the only way to do it. Let's say you forget about something, you don't mention it, the loan goes to closing, the buyer finds out, your customer finds out after the fact that there was a program out there that could fit their need, and we didn't bring it to their attention. Whose fault is it? Are they gonna send you referrals? If that ever happens, apologize, because it could happen, and try to make it right, and then ask for a referral. Hey, there's something about negotiating with it,
Well,
I use your tactic.
there are a lot of different stuff, there's a lot of different stuff out there, I guess is my point, knowing a little bit about it. And promoting it, might get you a call from someone who didn't think about buying a house, so, yeah, I will.
Who's got the lowest credit scores in town? This makes up a huge percentage of buyers, and that's why I asked. I mean, you know what bank, and what's the lowest score?
580.
Anybody else?
Some might go 560, but what'd you say?
Bonnie Kinsit.
Can go how far?
I got a 571 at a 3 1/4 interest rate. I about fell out of my chair.
Was it FHA?
No, it was USDA.
Was it legal?
Oh.
Well, yeah, the bonds, you know, it's always.
Let's talk 520.
535.
Listen to this. Jessica Colum has a lender that can do 520. 520. And I think it's called.
I draw those like flies. So who is that?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. All that does is, though, those credit scores, it takes the people that were at 580 and down to 520. Those 60 different, you know, from 520 to 560. What is that? Or 580. That's 60 points. That's a whole heck of a lot of buyers out there, right? And what we learned the first time the economy blew up, went well, the more buyers out there demand, the more business we did in real estate. Okay? Once the money starts flowing freely, according to my friend Willis Van Zee, that's when our economy will get in trouble. But as smart business professionals, you're just going to pay attention to these things, and hopefully you can capitalize on them. Hopefully you can capitalize on them. So when there's 8,000 homes back on the market, you know, you maybe invest in real estate when the price goes up. I don't know. All right, I got that. But here's why use any of these systems that we're talking about to leverage your time? Why use these? Well, a lot of times it's because we're busy, right? And there's just, if you could clone yourself, which is going to be another topic someday, but if you can clone yourself, you get more things done, right? But they say that relationships are the key to any sales business. Yeah, there's going to be these Zillow buy leads here, or Trillia buy leads, or conversion buy leads, and all these leads. Yeah, they're great. They get you in front of people. You know what Zillow calls it? They call it impressions, right? You've heard that term before, impressions, the number of impressions. Your face, your name and number is going to be impressed upon this many people. And here's what I think it means, or it's what it's saying to me is, here's our first impression of Benoit, the first time I ever met you, and you've ever met me, right? And now it's,
told you listening a couple years ago.
okay. Now it's your second impression of me, right?
Not near as good.
So, how the deal must have went through this, I don't remember. See what I'm saying? You can always tell how well a deal went when you don't remember anything about it, and it went smooth, didn't it, brother? Right? Smooth. Then you think, oh, I forgot I sold the house. So, here's the thing. We should try to spend 80% of our time with the ones that love us, right? Those 20%, yeah, we capture them, and we try to get in front of them before anybody else does, and we turn them to someone that loves us, right, and becomes a raving fan. So what we're saying is this, there's a lot of brokerages out there that are telling people to go call on the phone for sell by owner, this, that, and the other, go walking. Hey, that's fine, if that's what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with it, okay? We all have to have 10 revenue streams, lead-generating revenue streams for our business, right? And if you want to make door knocking one of them, that's fine, but I wouldn't spend 80% of your time door knocking, that's what I mean. And I wouldn't spend 80% of my time calling FSBOs. What the National Association of Realtors says is to spend 80% of your time with the ones that know you. And yeah, you may have called, your sphere of influence 45 days ago, but statistically they say 32 touches a year, which is a lot. I know, Ben, I saw you look up like that. That's a lot. But that doesn't mean 32 phone calls. It might mean...
Let me tell you how easy it can be. Set up a newsletter that goes out to your sphere, and try to put content in there that doesn't make them fall asleep. We're doing one that seems to have a lot of success right now. It just focuses on events happening in the greater Des Moines area.
Love it.
It's all about events. See, and then on the bottom we'll have our top 3 listings, and hey, we have about 32% open rate. We send out 3,500 people. So we're touching almost 1,000 over 1,000 people.
And
Every time,
what
you
is-
can see who opens it, you can see who opens the attachments, because we just put, let's say, Disney on Ice, then there's an attachment, and they click into that, then it goes to the
What's
site.
the store you're using?
That's
Constant contact.
constant contact. So there's another system there to leverage your time.
Then
That's what it is.
who has the referral scroll? So they spend $35 a month, and it sends out a little gift certificate. So this month was brilliant. The guy sent it out, and it was a new barbecue place that's opening up that makes their own beer, their own craft beer. And it said, respond, tell me you want this coupon and I'll send it to you. And it basically said a free draft beer or a free dessert, depending on whichever you're into, to go to this new barbecue place. I had about 20 people immediately saying, I want one, I want one, I want one. So I was able to give you download the PDF. Now, not only do I get a chance to give them something that they want, but I get, that I have a little give and take with them conversation-wise. So there's one other touch. And then if you do the theme thing, where you're actually sending your A-list something of value every month, or written letter, there's your 36 touches here. And two of them are automated. Only one of them you really have to,
And that Buffini letter comes out in a PDF format that you can email blast your 3,500 people as well, but you mail it, U.S. Postal Service it to your A's, like Matt was saying.
Yeah, you still have to have personal conversations, and you can still call your 5 people a day that's in your A list and just rotate through them. But there's ways to touch your people 36 times and do something cool that's, doesn't take up all your time. Once you set up the template for your newsletter, then it's just about finding content and throwing it in. It'd probably take you 2 hours a month. And then you set it up to what time and what day you want it out. And you might send it out to 3 different times in a given week and a half.
And that content, I think with Remax University and how they've redone it, it wouldn't take you, it might not take you 2 hours anymore, because the content, we have their Remax's permission to go to Main Street, find articles within Remax that are proven articles, cut and paste, and mail out.
Yeah, I had one lady this month even say, I don't even know how I got on your email list, but I really appreciate your newsletter. I think that's cool.
I love the fact that you put into one events.
Well, everybody wants to talk about the market and the yield and
Who cares?
most people don't care. But
How is the market?
yeah. So I mean, give them something that they might open every, find shows that are coming into Wells Fargo, Wade Sherman, maybe you host an event yourself, like you do your pumpkin patch deal. I mean, you can put that up to 3,500 people,
We did.
So, and then every lead we get goes into that constant content. So that 3,500 will go to 4,000, 4,500. Anybody signs in for an open house goes into that. And the key is to get 10,000 emails, 15,000 emails, and you get 20% of them to open up. Now that 20%, you get 2% a year that buy off you. Well, that's 10,000. There's 20 deals. Okay. So now, you know what I'm saying?
And then you take those 10,000 email addresses, you upload them to Remax Lead Street, you steer all your customers to use Remax.com to search for homes. Because once they get on your site, once you register that email address to you, you have them forever, and you can take it with you if you leave. We wish you luck. But at the same token, you can import and export it, and it ties you to that buyer client.
Because everything they search for will have your face on it and your brand. But Remax does give you a website. So you can build your own, you can pay for your own, that's all cool. I'm doing that. But you have a website with that you can use, and you can customize and put your own pictures in. Yeah. So Rob's pretty good.
There's a mobile app for it too.
Training.
There's a mobile app.
That was live streamed a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Should be available probably to watch that.
That was a good day.
Yeah.
All those tools, it blew us away.
You want to get people away from Zillow and away from Trulia. Get them away from their agents, and how you do that is you tell them that, well, you tell them the truth. If there's inaccurate information, unreliable information in a low inventory market, you have to know what comes on first. You do that on my site over here, which pulls from the MLS every 10 minutes.
And there's another thing that we want to do is connecting with people. That's the thing. I think what we're talking about is all this all this email grabbing and information sharing and sending out is connecting with people. That's what you're doing with your 32 touches. You're connecting with your people. And connection comes in layers. Email, text, phone, mail, pumpkin patch parties, pop buys, what have you. But statistically speaking, the agents that do really, really well are agents that have a system, a CRM system, that has 4 things that it does, okay? Daily action plan, okay? You have to have a CRM system that has daily action plan. So when you log into the system, it tells you what you're doing for that day, who you followed up with. Now, a lot of this is data entry, and data entry can be cumbersome when you're busy, but it will keep you on task and on target and keep your pipeline full for future business. So when you log something in, someone calls you today, says they're thinking about looking at houses, always ask the question, how quickly are we considering moving? Is this something we need to look at 60 days? Or help me understand where we're at? If you don't ask that question, or if you're doing this all on your own, or if you're committed to somebody, Matt has a series of questions in our drive that you can ask, but the biggest thing is time. Everyone thinks that, well, some agents think, at least I did, when someone says they were looking to buy a house and can I come over, back in the day, I would run right over to their house. I'd come to find out, I'd get there and like, oh yeah, we're not going to move for 3 years. Whose fault is that? So I didn't ask the right question. So to take control of everything that's chaos in your life right now, like as busy as we are, always ask, how quickly do you need this information? They say, oh, I don't know. Well, okay, well, if I got it to you by, today's Wednesday, if I got it to you by Friday, would that be soon enough? Oh yeah, heck yeah. And you ask people that, it sets the table. Because your first impression is, oh, they must need it yesterday. Because I'm a yesterday kind of guy when I ask some people to do some things for me. I'm probably not, but I used to be that. But if you ask, you won't have that anxiety of, I'm so busy, I got to get this. Hey, you got until Friday to get it to them. If you only ask. Or if they're not moving for 18 months, you know that I don't have to send this photograph of Shaw to that dude that came in, that cool lead that came in. I still haven't done that. That was Monday. But I know he's not moving for another 18 months. Okay? So if you don't ask what their expectant time frame is, and you assume it's within the hour, you're going to drive yourself crazy. So set the table. Another thing a CRM should do is keep score. Okay? You got to have a CRM system that keeps score. What does that mean? It has your business plan inside the system, and it tells you that you need to make this many calls. Well, you work the numbers backwards. I want to make this much money. I'm going to do this many transactions. I have to do this many transactions because the average commission is this. And you start tracking your numbers, and you work the numbers, and every day it keeps score, and it lets you know where you are. It keeps score of your expenses. It keeps score of the number of phone calls you need to make, how many handwritten notes, how many pop buys, how many client parties. It keeps score of your expenses in there. It's one system that you can log into every day. Mine is the Feeney system. There's others out there, top producer, you started messing around with that. Who uses a CRM system now? Okay. This is funny, we always just say, well, use the one that you're using, at least you're using one, period, right? And I was watching this video the other day, and the guy says, well, I'm a nutrition nut, and I train people to get in shape. And if I were to come up to someone that's out of shape and I tell them to keep eating like they're still eating, they're not going to get in shape. They continue to eat like they're eating now. Does that make sense? Does that translate? Mm-hmm. So the one that you're using now may not be the best one, is what it comes down to. Because you have to factor these 4 things in. It should be mobile. I know with the Feeney's it's mobile. Wish I was getting paid for it by now, but I'm not. But their system's mobile. And you bring up a map, and it tells you where all your customers are at. And you can drive there and do pop buys, and when you're driving from one appointment to the next, it's pretty slick. And then there's a phone app that comes in that says, hey, here's the 5 or 10 people you need to call today.
Who would you pay for that?
I think $150 a month. And that includes all my mailers, like you're seeing those, and they mail, and they get the thank you notes, and just there's all kinds of tools. It's
It's
pretty.
not bad for $150 a month, because you'll spend more than that managing it yourself if you have over 50 people on your A list. I mean, by the time you buy a gift, by the time you get your stationery and stamp and write it out in time, and figure out some kind of gift to put in there that's usually about $3 to $5 a person, you're already over $150.
And that's the thing, like making your own newsletter, they have the newsletters already made. And it's custom with my name on it. And then on the other side, I can put my 4 vendors on there, the home inspector, the moving company, the insurance agent, and my CPA. And they were all paying me $1,500 a month just to be on that letter. Not a month, excuse me, a year. So then I had,
Hey, that's a hell of a letter.
but I was doing the mailing cost me around $200. $200 to buy the stamps, which is no big deal, we mail it anyway. But then the remainder funds are for our client appreciation parties, to the pumpkin patch, and to the Iowa Cub game. And then finally, the 4th thing, first one was daily action plan. Second one, keep score and goals versus results. Third one was being mobile. So you have to have a mobile app. And then the 4th one is easy to use. Because if it's too tough to use, you're going to go, well, I'm not going to use that. It's almost like Lead Street. There's just so much stuff in there. Some days I get into Main Street and Lead Street, I'm like, whoa.
There's a lot there.
Yeah. But it's good stuff. You just got to play with it for a while.
For user friendly.
Couple things that we talked about when cold leads come in, when just any lead comes in. What do you guys do when a lead comes in? What do you do when you get a lead on your phone or your email?
It seems like they always come in when I'm not in a position to talk to them. So I mark it to make sure I call them as soon as I can. But if I'm sitting at my desk, immediately call them. Because they're probably sitting at their computer looking at it. More times than not, I've found it's, I'm at work, I can't talk right now.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, I just saw that you weren't working and you were looking at houses. No, I was like, so what is a good time to call? And then I exactly know, and I can set it as an appointment to call them later.
Yeah.
But I use Top Producer, so most of the leads feed directly to that. So then I'll just make a note that I talk to them and schedule a follow-up to make sure I don't forget. If I don't talk to them, I call them every day until they answer. 5 or 6 times, then I quit.
This is the dude that used to do how many calls a day? 1,200?
Not a day. I'll do like 100 calls a day, yeah.
100 calls a day back in the day.
Not every day, but it happened.
And that's dials, not.
Conversation. If I talked to 100 people a day, I wouldn't be sitting here anymore. I'd be on an island somewhere.
Because again, you would get results, right?
Yeah.
You got results. And what you do it well, right? Man, I remember those days selling copiers and fax machines. We would just rock the phone, man. It was fun.
Yeah, you just called until they answered. And I mean, it was probably, I'm glad I don't work like that anymore, but probably like a 10% success ratio of ever even actually meeting them face to face.
It's not bad news.
No. And you're good on the phone.
Okay.
I've seen and heard him on the, you ever heard this dude on the phone? He's like,
I'm better in person, actually. I'm less confident on the phone, to be honest. I try to get that, I want to meet you face to face so they can fall in love with my beautiful blue eyes.
hey, speaking of that, okay, let's stay on point with this. Beautiful blue eyes, how would they know? We did this yesterday, or I've been doing this a lot of, you guys might have seen me on Facebook, but I'm like, so a lead comes in, cold lead comes in, and I'm like, I hit my phone and I record myself saying, hey Bob, thanks for checking out thanks for checking out Remax.com. My name is Ryan Rivera. I'm a real estate agent here in Urbandale, so I am local. Just wanted to introduce myself to let you know I'm here to service your real estate needs. Call me if you get a chance. And I made that video and I text it to them. And they see my beautiful brown eyes.
It's a good idea.
Here's why. Everybody else is calling, texting, emailing. Okay? And texting is starting to lose its luster in a way. Now people are getting so many texts, that, man, I don't know if you just get bombarded. So how do you stand out? How do you leverage, if you're buying Zillow leads and your impressions are the 8, or you're competing at 4 or 8 agents for one zip code, how are you going to stand out? So try the video thing. Definitely when the cold lead comes in, email, text, and phone call. All 3. Because you never know what someone's primary source of communication is. And as professional salespeople, we always say, I can work in any capacity that you can work in. However, I do prefer this method of communication, but, you know.
And I do find, I don't remember what the numbers are, I'm showing you guys, brokers know, what percentage it is of people that work with the first agent they talk to.
Probably pretty high.
I don't remember what the percentage is, but, so, if somebody's out there
That's the
looking.
exact percentage, pretty high.
Yeah, well, no, I just met with the reason I wasn't here at 11, actually, I wanted to be here, so I apologize, but I was listing a house from a woman who, yeah, it's gonna be 120, it's 1,800 square foot in Riverdale, all redone, perfect. No, I'm just kidding. But, no, a woman
Chris
who
got excited.
Was on, I have to look back, because she couldn't even remember. She's like, oh, I sent a bunch of messages and you were just the first one to reply. And she sent a message on, it might have been Lead Street, but it was like, I thought they were interested in a specific listing. And so I just reached out, and I only had email. I just sent an email, hey, I saw you were looking at 123 Main Street. Did you have any questions? That's it. And she goes, actually, I was looking to sell my house. Oh, great. When can I meet you? When can we come? I went over there, and she signed the papers, and it probably won't go by for a while, but yeah. And signed listing. 50 minutes of work total.
She's 92, not mentally competent, but.
Yeah.
Here's what I
That's
found,
fair.
and I've been asking this question, when I get a hold of people on the phone, I say, hey, it's Ryan, I'm sure you've been bombarded with real estate agents by now, because they'll sell, 8 agents, that zip code now, or 12 agents. And you know what they're saying? No, you're the first one to call. And it's weird like that. And we talked about that, I think the other day, like, people are paying money for this service, and they're not trying to gain on it.
I was guilty of that. That's one of the things I'm trying to work on.
Oh, those leads don't work, they're cold leads. Keep saying that, because we're gonna rock, if that's the mindset you're in, I'm gonna be in a mindset of, this is caller's gonna buy something today, or at least I'm gonna meet with them to see if I can help them.
I was replying on Zillow to their message that I get, and then just moving on and hoping they got back to me.
I
And I was like, what am I doing that for? I know how to do this.
Email, so if I can call them, I will, but it automatically sends an email. Well, I get pretty good response from the email.
Yeah.
If they really are interested, you just ask them if there's anything specific they would like to know about this home, or set up a time to see it. Question. Just kind of give
Do you
them more
answer
extra options.
Because you do a lot of Zillow, right?
Mhm.
So do you answer the calls when they automatically call?
For sure.
And what's your experience like with that?
It's pretty good. It's recent, but I've missed a few.
I feel like I've had more negative responses that go, like, why are you calling me? Because it's not them calling, it's you calling them. Zillow just auto connects it,
Well, they have a concierge program where they call on your behalf in the first 30 seconds.
Right.
And then they try to connect you to them. But if you miss that call,
Right.
they try to, set an appointment up for you for a recall, in which case I just usually just try to call them back.
Oh, I'm not
call them back
paying for that
myself.
concierge.
But the concierge was something new for me. I don't know if I had enough sample of it to say whether I like it yet or not, because it's literally the first month.
And I haven't used that, but I was talking about just how that they enter in their information thinking they're just getting more info on the house, and then their phone rings.
Oh, no, I've had really good luck with calling them. If I can call them
If
within 30
if I call
seconds.
directly, it seems to work better than if it's the auto Zillow, because it does that pause, you're now being connected with.
Oh, right.
As soon as I get on the phone, I'm like, click, I don't want to be connected with. As an agent, I'm not, but I mean, as a consumer, if
I think it's
you're now going to be connected with someone who's going to sell.
I think on the caller ID, you're at 515, area's not come up, so that's why people don't
That's
answer.
truly abusive. I haven't had that experience with Zillow yet.
Well, and I guess it's now that they've done that with Premier Agent app where it's everything, I don't differentiate it too.
Yeah.
Who has, on the iPhone, I can only speak on the iPhone, it has a few replies, custom replies that you can save. I can't talk right now, call you later, or I'm in a meeting, okay? Chris, so now we're getting text leads to our phone, and Chris, why don't you share what you did?
I have an auto reply for any internet lead. I just type, I'll put their phone number in, the lead's phone number, first of all. Then I type IL, it brings up my internet lead.
He calls it IL.
Text, hi, this is Chris Freese with Remax. Thank you for your inquiry. Do you have a moment to go over your request?
And then you know if they can talk right now or not.
Yeah, that's a tremendous response.
That's awesome.
One that we created, so basically all it is you set up a custom reply text in your phone okay? So if you're driving, or if you're at a baseball game, you can't talk, we all agree that and Zillow says it too, and all websites say it, the first one to respond, if you respond within the next 10 minutes, it increases your chances to land this lead. So if you just, you forward that auto reply to the lead that came in, you're gonna have a better chance of,
What was saved is you have a certain.
what I've done is, rather than say, hey, do you have a question that needs to be answered, I say, when can we go see the home? I want to get the appointment. Because I'm thinking that's what they want to do. They want to go see the home, they're emotional, and that's going to get me in front of them. So that is the first appointment.
In my settings.
Okay? So as soon as I say, yes, I want to go see that home, they're already committed to me. So if the other 8 agents that buy that zip code respond, they're going to say, no, I'm already meeting somebody there at the house. I'm covered, thanks. I've got 4 people that ask me what questions I have. I got one guy that I've already committed to meeting.
Your box and just pops that up. That's pretty cool.
Can you read that one more time?
So you're okay with being a Pop-Tart for that first meeting?
No, I just said, when are we gonna go? And then they say this or that. And I say, let me call you. And then I kind of like, no.
29.
Because just my own personal choice, I don't show without pre-approval. Unless it's a referral and I know they're working on getting pre-approved and I have a good relationship sort of thing.
We ask qualifying questions, you know. Hey, where do you work at? Oh, I got a friend that works there too. They don't know that I'm asking. I hope they don't know. I'll go, what's your social security number? What's your name? What do you know? You kind of fill people out. But this man here, when I was new in real estate, Matt, and you've always said this, Matt, the first one's free.
Yeah.
If they won't give you what they want, because a lot of agents, what I've experienced is, God, when I go meet the buyer, they're like, man, I said, did you run into the other agents? And of course they say yes. Well, what did you like? What didn't you like? Well, that one agent, man, he just wanted to see if I was approved. That, he doesn't need to know that. And I'm thinking in the back of my head, that's all I really want to know. But
you're like, yeah, he does.
Yeah. And then, but it's a good segue for me to go, well, what would make someone think that you couldn't get approved for a loan? Right? Because I want to know that while I'm there. Well, why would anybody even?
Well, I don't have a job.
And they'll tell you. That's the thing. They'll tell you.
They're like,
They'll tell you credit score, this and that and the other. Like they'll tell you the good and the bad. But that first appointment is a free one because I would rather go there and take the chance of securing a future customer and finding out firsthand and getting to meet them and put my arms around them and tell them how great I am, versus offending them on the phone potentially and never get a chance at all. First one's always free, right, Matty?
Yeah, I mean, if your schedule will allow that, yeah. I mean, you have a chance to meet you'll build rapport with somebody a little bit faster face to face, just like you said.
And I get that, but I'll just more try to push to get them, like, I'll come here.
Do what works for you. You know, just
No, that's why I said it's just my own personal thing.
Yeah,
I didn't say
do
it's
what
the
works
right
for
way, it's just my way.
Yeah, you know what? And that's the way it should be. Which is another thing is how to what was our topic? How to leverage our time. Do what works for you. Because you don't want to be the Pop-Tart agent. You know,
My average sale price went up $50,000 when I decided to start doing that exclusively.
You were more selective.
When I started saying no, unless I know you're worth my time, you're not worth my time.
That's the thing. We ran into a customer, a guy here who I love, the one that you met in the lobby.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah. and you know what? I just don't. I'm not a perfect fit for him. You know, I love that Jason said that because at a certain point in all of our careers, we're going to have to say, I can't help you because I just can't.
You want me to help him?
If you want to.
I'm just kidding.
Actually, he said have Jessica call him. He just texted me because I think he's understanding. But here's the thing. Like Jason's saying, time versus money. I can't help everybody. And you shouldn't be afraid to say that to folks. I was for the longest time, and I think I wasted so much time trying to help everybody that if I would have focused my time more on a certain segment of the market, I could have had a better life, be at my kids' games and all that stuff, and get what I want out of it too. And it sounds selfish. It sounds kind of selfish because I do want to help this man, but at the same token, is it worth it?
It's not selfish at all. There's no point in having money if you don't have a life or a family or a reason to enjoy it.
Something about that is it's about you'll do this every now and then just because you forget and you're an idiot, you'll just do it. yeah, you know, and then you remind yourself why you shouldn't do it. But there's just some people you won't jive with.
Right.
I mean, you won't. And if you take the time to try to earn a commission out of people who don't respect you, your time, your input, and you're fighting them all the way, what it does is it takes your emotion, your energy, it takes it out of you, so you give a lesser service to the people that you will do that with,
right?
That you should be giving great service to, that will perpetuate. So this person will take 80% of your energy out of you, and you'll be less effective to the people that deserve your energy. And then ultimately you'll be less productive because of it. So it's not just even time, it's just getting your business to a point where you, hey, I can't work for you because, you know, we're just not the right makeup of people.
And I was actually,
And there's nothing wrong with either one of you, I'm not your agent. You know?
And that's the 25%. I don't know if you guys saw the email last, raise your compensation by 25% and working less. It's exactly what Jason said. He said, I raised my average sale price by 50 grand and I worked less because I focus my energy on these types of people. Like Matt just said, I'm focusing my efforts on the people that deserve my time and we respect each other, vice versa. It makes you happier. So you're happy around people that are good people, because those jerks will just eat you alive. You can't work with them.
Well, so then you'll make a mistake and you'll fall into it every now and then. You remind yourself, this is why I just never went down this rabbit hole with this dude. I knew right from the beginning. I had that feeling, and here we are, halfway through the deal with no turning back.
Yeah.
And I gotta gut it out. You know.
You say to yourself, man, do I cut my losses or do I just
get
this
you
thing
had
across?
either you knew it closing that was gonna be the last time you spoke to me.
oh yeah.
That's fast.
And then they give you a badge of lower from. Or they,
I was just having,
Yeah.
I had a conversation with my wife last night because I had some clients so I had the Riverwalk Rendezvous last night. It's a big chamber event. My chamber was hosting it. So I wasn't involved, but my chamber was hosting it. It was from 4:30 to 6:30. And they really wanted to see a house that just got listed yesterday. He had a sand volleyball game at 6:30, so he couldn't do it afterwards. And I said, well, we'll squeeze it in. If I'm a little late to that thing, that's fine. And they did want to write an offer. But I told them, all right, we can write an offer, but I'm going to go to this event, and then I'm going to call you when I'm done, and then we're going to write the offer. And I was just having a conversation with my wife that 4 years ago, I would have never done that. I would have just skipped the event, and I would have went and wrote the offer and tried to do exactly that. And I would have had my slacks on and my shirt tucked in and be fake me. Being me and being honest, I've been way more successful. So.
and that leads me into the final thing is this.
I just told them exactly what I had going on. It's amazing what honesty will do. They're like, oh yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
Give me a call when you're done.
And sometimes that's when you reach a level in your career, and Lance, you talked about this. I can just tell you the way it is, because I'm not afraid to be yourself, right? And I think that's what Jason's saying.
Mm-hmm.
So here, this goes into what I was saying is, you'll be happier, and you'll increase your production by 25% because you're going to be happier and you have more control of your business. In your purchase agreements, put in the day of closing and the time of closing. So you can plan your calendar 6 weeks out and you know where you need to be. I don't know if a lot of people do that, but that's part of my business. And
Do your lenders follow it for you?
they have to. I'll find a different lender, and I've gotten into it with my lenders a couple times because and I remember there was a certain lender that said, well, we can't do that. We can't. I said, you know what? I'll have to find someone that can, because what I can't do is plan my life 6 weeks from now and have where am I going to be and what time's closing. What we can't have is our customers, more than anything, sellers and buyers, who's taking time off work, having friends help them move in, and all the things that go into moving, have any not being sure when we're closing.
Yeah, I like lenders that schedule closing as soon as there's an accepted offer.
Well, here's the thing, and it shouldn't change. We got 6 weeks to deal with this. What's more is you got to get that till out 3 days prior to closing. And I talked to Matt Hearn at Wasker, and I said, "How are you guys doing?" I ran into at the mall. "How are you doing?" He's like, "Great." "How many closings do you have?" He goes, "I don't know, a bunch, but it's awesome." "Why is that?" "I thought this 3-day thing was going to screw everything up." You know what he said? "Ryan, it's the best thing ever. 3 days prior to close, we have to set that closing date and time, and it can't move. Now I have more control of my calendar. Before, closing to pop up here, closing to pop up here, closing to pop up here.
We just got all those closed right now.
Right. And you know that. Now, will it always be that way? No, it won't. Things will change. They will. Times will change sometimes. And usually it's when you're working with a weaker agent that doesn't commit to what is not purchase a contract. Okay, that contract is set up, you guys, for everyone to be on the same page. And there's no such thing as renegotiating what's already on the contract, because it's already a contract. Jason and I were talking about that the other day. Once you get really good at this business, you can set your home inspection time frame around your kids' soccer games, around date night with mom or your wife. You can set that inspection time frame to cater towards you and your buyer. Okay? So you can ease into this thing. Because I know what the purchase agreement says. I know when my date closes, because I have a timeline that I use, and I give it to the buyer and I give it to the seller agent. That says our inspection contingency ends here, our appraisal ends here, and here's where we are every step of the way. I do that because I want to know that I can take time off when I need to, or go do the important things with my family that I want to. And then I know when closing is and at what time. So when the buyer calls me, or the listing, or the seller calls me and says, what are we talking about? Monty Kinsis was the one that said that. Well, what's the purchase agreement say? Then I guess that's when we're closing. Love Monty. And that's the way it should be. That way there's no gray area. So the day of closing, you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off trying to figure out where you need to be. A couple things that you guys can use today. So that's one thing you can use today when you're writing the purchase agreements is be laser specific. Set the expectation to everyone involved and let them know we're going to follow this to a T. Let your buyers know, hey, if you need, what's the best time for you to take off work during the week? I ask that to buyers. Oh, I get Tuesdays off, Ryan. You're off all day Tuesday, but let's close on Tuesday.
I always ask that too.
Some people have a day off during the week because everyone's working 6 days a week. So be the professional and ask the questions and tee this thing up perfect so you have the least amount of headaches. Another one, this is something you can use today, showing time. We've been using this for all of our listings. Setting the appointment. And I've taken myself out as the go-between, and I love it. I don't have to be on my phone all the time. I see when things are getting communicated, and it's awesome. What did it take to get there? You have to put the seller's information on the listing and accurate email address, and they get the same text that you do.
Oh, I've been doing that since it started. It's amazing.
And it is, isn't it?
The greatest thing ever.
Ever. And you don't have to worry about, sometimes I worry because I've seen the requests come in at 7 o'clock at night for not till the next day between 2 and 3. And I want to just confirm yes and be done with it. I'm like, what the heck's my seller doing? It's only 7 o'clock at night. Well, they did it the next day at 8 in the morning, but it was on my mind until 8 in the morning. But they got it done. And so feedback comes that way too. Feedback comes through showing time. It's awesome. We set an appointment with our sellers over the phone to go over showing time and how it works and have them upload the app on their phone. What's more is I send a fake request to show from me. I said, now here, this is what it looks like. Boom. They hit accept, decline, and I help them do that. It's awesome. It takes me out of it. It's systemized, and I can enjoy my time with my family.
Well, now I always explain it to people. I say, so here's the deal. I don't answer my phone when I'm with another client. I think it's the rudest thing in the world. There's a lot of people that will do it. I won't. I will not. The one exception was when my wife was pregnant. I was like, my wife calls, I'm going to answer. But I told people in advance. But I'm like, I won't answer. What if you're out of town? Your house is ready to be shown. Somebody's out. Last minute, they happen to want to show it. They can't reach me because I'm out with a client for 2 hours. They don't show your house. They go buy something else. When if you would have just got that notification on your phone, you would have said yes because you're out of town for the next 5 days. And they're like, oh yeah, definitely, let's do that.
They love it. They love it.
You can, one showing can turn into like 8 phone calls between voicemails and text messages and all that. Whereas if it goes directly to the seller, it's like, bing, confirmed, done.
Now, they won't all be smooth, but so far, what my experience is, it's all been smooth. And the best part is, the house that had the beer cans last night and showed like crap, and the buyer that was really excited to look at it, the seller texted me this morning and goes, oh gosh, delete that feedback. That's horrible. I'm embarrassed. It's the truth. And I didn't have to tell her.
Right.
Don't shoot the messenger, right? Oh, it's awesome. Okay, so that's something you guys can use now to be more efficient.
Showing time feedback.
I do it all the time. I give feedback 24/7.
I always answer it.
She's been pretty good. Yeah, I answer.
Yeah.
I have it turned off just because it sometimes annoys me. especially when I know agents don't see it. Like last night I answered one, and then a half hour later got a text from the agent, hey, you have any feedback on that listing you showed? I'm like, yeah, just sent it half hour ago.
Don't show me. Yeah. Hey, one thing while we're talking about showing time, maybe everybody does this, I just found out, is that I load everything up about that listing, whether if it's there's an HOA, you got information for that, or if it's just the seller's disclosure or whatever. I put it all in additional info, and as soon as they text for an appointment, they immediately get emailed all of that package of information on that listing.
That's a good idea.
It's awesome, because I mean, you don't go, hey, you got your HOA thing, or you got this, or you got that. It all goes to that agent that sent the request. They immediately get that additional info package.
And you know what, that's a great, so I'm glad you brought that up, Lance. We started asking for the HOA contact info. We asked for the most recent meetings, the last 3 meetings for the HOA, we want copies of those 3 meetings. We asked for the financials, we asked for the covenants, we asked for, that'd be it, right? Yeah.
Here's one I just got on my.
And we attach it already to the MLS, so it's already there. Remember those days you go, hey, can you send that over?
Yeah.
It's already
Well, I
there.
put it on the MLS.
Put it on the MLS.
Put it on showing time, sends it to them.
Send it to them.
Automatically sends it to them.
That's perfect.
I had
And it saves you time, it saves you
It's on their
time.
phone.
Yeah, it saves you time, you need it.
They get a question, they're like,
Right.
oh, thank God I got that.
I gotta do that.
When you're selling a duplex and they're asking the city of Des Moines has a rental certificate, put that rental certificate on there. Put together a P&L based on the current, it doesn't have to be in-depth, but something that you'll want to know. Income, expenses, how long the leases are, put copies of the leases out there. Have that all ready and prove to your seller that you are the professional that you are. And that's why you're with RE/MAX Concepts. We get things done, we're efficient, and you know the buyer's gonna want that crap anyway, so just have it ready.
On association,
I gotta get full.
I got a new one where you can, and I just got it from the association, I'm sure every association has it, he said they handed out at their yearly meeting, all the improvements were things that they've spent their money on as an association, like the parking lot, or the road, or garage, or anything like that. This association, they provide a summary of that at the end of every year. So I have that to attach to my listing. Hey, I talked about the improvements on the condo, but here's 2 pages of every improvement that was made on the entire complex since 2009. And he had it. He just said, I called the guy. He said, yeah, send me an email. I'll send it right back. I mean, I had it in 45 minutes.
Any
I'm
questions
guessing
from
they all
the
have
handle? You can log on.
Jason,